What an amazing group of young people. It's, I think, written on a stone tablet somewhere that you can't have a band concert without a Sousa march. This next march that we're going to play, it's also the conclusion of our portion of the concert. It's one that if you're not sure if you know it, you're likely to recognize it after we've played about 2 notes. But we've talked about Sousa today in a little bit of a different way than you may think of Sousa. We've talked about him and his music in historical context, with what was going on around the time of the First World War, how Sousa was propagandized in some way to help the American war effort. And we talked about Sousa in terms of what he really wanted to do as a composer, which, by the way, is not write marches. Sousa wanted to be an operettist. So we tied Sousa a little bit to the first piece we played by Strauss, who was a great operettist. The problem for Sousa was he wrote several operas, and they were miserable failures. Not musically as much, but he made a fatal mistake in that he was such a control freak that he decided to both write the libretto and the music. And it turned out that did not work very well for him. So a lot of the marches, of the 136 marches that Sousa wrote, what you may not realize is that many of the melodies that we know are simply taken out of his opera tunes and they're sped up and put into a march. And this one is no different. Before we play it, I would most certainly be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Knudsen and Mr. Rebale for being such gracious hosts, and all of the teachers in this district for everything that you've done with these students. It has been such a joy for me today. I hope you know this, but I think in Minnesota we take it for granted. It isn't like this everywhere. In fact, it's not like this in most places. As a part of my life, I'm very fortunate to be able to travel the country and lead music festivals. And I love doing it. But I really love doing it here in Minnesota. And I think we all know, I'm preaching, well actually now I'm preaching to the choir, but now, that was my best joke today. They haven't laughed at any of my jokes yet, so. But I think we all realize how fragile this is. I have 2 little girls, and I hope in 10 and 15 years they can do something like this too, and be a part of something like this. It's been very special for me to be here. So thanks for having me. This is The Washington Post.